Hi, I'm Stu and welcome to alittlephotoshop.com. In this screencast I'm going to show you how to do a vintage effect. Now this shot here is straight out of the camera, no adjustments whatsoever. And if you actually zoom into it a little bit, I'll just bring it in, you'll see it's a bit out. In fact, the sea in the background is sharper than the person. But there's a couple of things going on here that you need to know about. Firstly, I wasn't actually looking through the camera when I was taking the photograph, shooting from the hip, a little Canon G9. And secondly, I was actually walking along a similar wall to the one here, and so I had a slight elevation on the subject, and also I was walking in the same direction as them. So considering I'm walking, they're walking, and I'm not looking through the camera lens, it's not a badly composed shot. But it also serves a good purpose for creating a vintage image, because it's a little bit, overexposed, a bit washed out as it is anyway. So to get started on the vintage photo effect, we're going to use an adjustment layer. And we're first of all going to create a photo filter layer, and we're going to go for yellow. And this provides us with our washed out color tone effect. So I'm going to go for yellow, and you'll see I'm increasing the density to 75%. Now if you untick preserve luminosity, which I would recommend in terms of the vintage look, you will not retain the detail or the brightness within the shadows and the highlights. If you can see there, the shadows nice and black, highlights start to get popped out. Untick it and you lose that brightness. So that's quite key to that sort of subtle vintage look. Next thing after that, we then need to create a hue and saturation adjustment layer. So we'll go for that. And you want to desaturate quite a lot of the colour that's there already. So around about -25. So it's fine. And then we need to wash it out a little bit more. So we're going to do another adjustment layer, this time levels. So we take the mid-tone slider and we push it towards the shadows just a little bit. I'm going to a sort of 1.18, just to the point where it starts to clip and no more. It's looking pretty good just now. Okay, so we've got that. Now what we need to do is push the photo filter above the hue and saturation, because we don't want to lose that colour cast that we're sort of building in. So if you hold down your Command or Control key and use the right parenthesis or bracket key, that will push photo filter up, and then we have that yellow cast again. We then need to go to the background layer, do a couple of things here to finish this off. We first of all need to convert the background layer for smart objects, because we want to be able to have a non-destructive layer going on in terms of the filters. And it gives you the degree of flexibility of altering the settings as well. So if we go to filter and convert for smart filters, that just converts for smart object. You can use the LPS workflow actions or right click on the layer to get the same desired effect. Once we're in filter, we might as well go down to noise and add a little bit of noise into the image. And I quite like the setting I've got here, but I'm just going to increase it to 7%. 7% Gaussian monochromatic. Click OK, just to get a bit of general noise going on in the image. And then from there, we're going to go into filter and we're going to use lens correction. This was tucked away in the earlier versions of Photoshop and sort of distort, but it's on its own now. We want to go to custom, and from there we want to vignette the corners. So I'm going to increase the amount, darken off those corners. So -70. I'm then going to play with the midpoint because I want to bring it in quite a lot. Probably around about -35. That's just got our vignette. Click OK, and we'll see the desired effect. It's processing. Nearly done. And there we go. And that's pretty much it. It's just a question of varying those settings that you've got here. And we'll just do a little bit of housekeeping. There's our image. There's our levels. I'm just going to call this washout. And our photo filter, which we will call yellow. So it's getting the balance to suit your image, because obviously different scenes will set up different exposures. you might need a little bit more or less yellow, a bit more washing out, a bit more desaturation, and obviously a bit more noise or less noise, and also vignetting. But that's the basics for a vintage looking image. So you're basically using Photoshop and going old school on it and sucking the life out of it, but it does create an intriguing effect. Yellow, a washout, desaturation, and then a bit of noise and a bit of lens correction for the vignetting. And that's us done.